If you're looking to add another smart home device to your Sigenergy battery system, you may find the information here useful. I recently purchased this Shelly 4-channel relay from Smart Home Australia. It's called a 4PM Pro. It's designed to go on a DIN rail in a switchboard, and it's got 4 channels, 4 outputs showing there. Currently you can see they're all turned off. I purchased this to work in conjunction with my Sigenergy battery system, and the Sigenergy app can incorporate the Shelly switch as another smart home device. I've got on my normal smart load relay a pool heat pump that's currently drawing 6.7 kilowatts, and I'm intending to connect a humidifier to this Shelly switch. You can see there the Shelly unit, the switch is off. If I click on that and confirm, the output 0 just went on. It's showing that there's still no load on it, 0 watts. So the Sigenergy app will measure the power consumption the same as it does for the pool pump. It was quite easy to incorporate that one channel from this 4PM Shelly product and for it to appear, and then you name it. I named it dehumidifier because that's ultimately what I'll connect to it. So that side of it was easy, and it worked well very quickly for me, so it didn't take much setup at all. The next problem I had was my dehumidifier is going to be controlled by a Shelly humidity and temperature sensor that is it's an indoor pool. That's why we've got a dehumidifier and we've got a pool heater. The dehumidifier needs to run 24/7, but turned on and off based on the humidity in the room. I have set up on this Shelly device a second channel which is activated by a humidity sensor that's in the room. So output 1 will change based on the humidity sensor. I know I'm effectively using the Sigenergy cloud to bring that information through to me. If I go to now the Shelly app that I've uploaded here, there you can see the pool H&T, humidity and temperature sensor details there. It's 26.7 degrees in there according to that sensor. It's saying it's 81.9% humidity in the room at the moment. That seems high, but let's just run with that. This is the first output on the Shelly 4PM switch, and that blue ring indicates that it's on, and we've just turned it on using the Sigenergy app. And the second indication there is the output 2, which is off at the moment. Now, what I'm wanting is a setup where when output 0 or output 1 here is on and the humidity sensor wants to turn the humidifier on, then this one will come on. And I was thinking that a simple logic command would achieve that between these two channels. but I've had problems doing that. I've tried it in a number of ways, and my solution to it was to add a separate contactor so that basically the output 0, or as it says there, which I'm calling channel 1, when it's on, and output 1, which I'm calling channel 2, is on, then this contactor will activate, and in this case turn this globe on. So you can see here that output 1, or channel 1, is activated there. I've actually just hit it and turned it off, but Siggen turns it back on again. So it's like it was a conflict, me trying to turn that on and off. With this second one, if I turn that on, I've now got both on and that load working, and you'll see also that I'll turn that off, you'll see that 13.8 watts is travelling through the first channel there, being monitored here, 14 watts. Now it's a fluorescent, low current, a low power fluorescent bulb, and that channel is monitoring the power that's running through it. The second channel there is showing 1.6 watts. That's actually just the power that the coil of that contactor there is using. And channels 3 and 4 are not being used at all in this example. Now, I don't know whether what I've done here is I'm going to turn that off because it's creating a lot of glare. I don't know whether the way I've configured that is, it seems clumsy to me when there are logical options available when you set up scenes for these channels. If I go to home here and all scenes, I've set up scenes for turning the humidifier on and off. Basically, it turns on at a level. At the moment, I think it's set to 83%, and it's supposed to turn off at 82.5%. Now, I've done that on purpose for testing reasons. Having them so close together is not terribly practical when it comes to using the room. One of the things that happens with the Shelly temperature sensor, when I'm back on dashboard here, and I go to activity log, and it says all rooms there at the moment. I'm going to change that just to the pool room. It shows the pool room H&T readouts. You see the last 5 activities there. Currently, if I press on that dot there, it says there's a humidity in there of 82.4, and it's the timestamps on these. They're like broadcasts, I suspect, coming through from the sensor. You'll see this one's at 22 minutes past 11, and that's 28 minutes past 11. And prior to that, it was 16 minutes past 11. And so at 16 minutes past 11, the humidity was 81.9. And 6 minutes later, it was still 81.9. And 6 minutes later, it was 82.4. And you get the last 5 readings on this activity log on the free Shelly cloud application. So again, at 11:10, it was 82.3. And at 11:04, 6 minutes earlier than that, it was 82.7. So that's an activity log showing that there's the sensor's actually broadcasting. I use I use the term loosely, sort of broadcasting its temperature and humidity readings every 6 minutes, it appears. And so I have set this channel 2 up to turn the channel 2 on when it crosses the thresholds that I've set it. And as I said, it's currently set to, if I go back to all scenes, the dehumidifier turning off is uses the pool humidity level of 82.5 is when it triggers the smart load, which it's the number 2 channel, turns it off. So it does it all the time. So that's a scene that I've set using, if the humidity in the room is less than 82.5, then turn channel 2 off. Likewise, the humidity on scene that I've set says if the humidity in the room is greater than 83%, trigger channel 2 to go on, and that's all the time. Now that little scene works fine using that humidity sensor and channel 2 as a sort of separate scene that works. But what I can't seem to do is incorporate the state of channel 1 into that, into this logical setup here. I can't say when the humidity's right and the Sigenergy has got channel 1 turned on, then switch channel 2. In fact, I was trying to work with the idea that I could use just one channel for this process, because when you're looking at the inputs you can look at the input of one of the channels and say if that input is on and the temperature is right, then change the output of the one channel. And I figured that should have worked, but I could not get that to work. So I'm in this situation where at the moment I've got this separate contactor attached, taking the output of channel 1 through the main contacts on the contactor. And so when that main contacts are closed, the output of channel 1 feeds out through this contactor. And the output of channel 2 activates the coil in the contactor, which activates the contact. So that sort of creates the AND function between the two inputs, which I think is quite a clumsy way of doing it. And I'm curious as to whether somebody's got a solution to make that work without a contactor as well in the system. This video may help people. I'm quite impressed that this Shelly device is immediately recognised by the Sigenergy app. That was easy, and that if all you wanted to do was turn on and off an external load and monitor the power that's running through that external load, then that Shelly device is fine. One other question I've got, which I couldn't work out, was there's 4 channels on here, and when the Sigenergy app finds this Shelly device, it pretty much starts talking to the first channel and ignores the other 3 channels. I would have thought it would have brought up smart load options for the other 3 channels when this was installed when the Sigenergy app identified this device as being available on the same network. So that's another question. So there's two things. I can't get the logic working between channel 1 and 2, or whether it even needs both two channels to do what I want to do. And I also have this question as to why the Sigenergy didn't find all 4 channels of this and give me the option of having 4 separate controllable loads, as well as the main smart load that's in the gateway appearing up on my app. So anyway, I'll leave it there, and this is a question, and maybe you'll learn something from what I've done. It's a very easy thing to add another smart load to a Sigenergy system, and I've achieved that, but it's fairly clumsy using this extra contactor to do exactly what I want. So I'm interested in comments on ways of fixing the issue I've got, or simplifying the problem I've got. Thanks for listening to it, and I'll report back if there's a answer to my issues.
I'm a retired electronics engineer, so I know a little bit about logic. Get out to your shed and have some fun.